Wife no longer finds me physically attractive and doesn't want to be intimate with me anymore. I don't know what to do. Me and my wife have been in a relationship for 10 years. We married about 6 months ago. Over the last 8 months our intimacy has faded. At first I attributed it to planning a wedding during the pandemic, but since our marriage things have only gotten worse. When I try to initiate she often pulls away. She builds a wall of pillows between us when we sleep, saying I'm a hot sleeper. Everything I say or do seems to be wrong, down to the way I chew, and makes her mad. I love her with my entire being, but I don't know what to do. She recently told me that she misses the excitement that comes with a new relationship and that she's only ever been with me intimately, and I told her just to communicate and I could be open to adding to our bedroom if it meant making her happy. She then said she felt bad she was even talking about it with me, but that she doesn't find me physically attractive or attractive personality-wise. I don't get it. I'm of husky build but nothing that limits me. I have a physically demanding job, and most people seem to think I'm an okay guy. How do I get my wife back? TLDR, my wife is no longer being intimate with me and I don't know what I can do. She's not acclimating to this routine you both have settled into. Start courting her again. Find out what her love language is. Put effort into her outside of the bedroom and things in the bedroom will fall into place. I believe her love language is acts of service, but the more things I do for her the more she finds things wrong. X. I load up the car and she's like, why would you load it that way? However, if I do nothing, she begins to compare me to her friends' husbands, saying look at all the stuff they do. I believe her love language is acts of service, but the more things I do for her the more she finds things wrong. Then it's not acts of service. Have you tried the others? The only two I can go with without her being mad are gifts and words of affirmation. But she's told me herself that her love language is acts of service. I don't think she loses attraction. Maybe something else, cause if she doesn't find you more attractive then she shouldn't marry you after 10 years of relationship. Maybe she gets bored. Best option is to add some spark in your bedroom. If she's refusing intimacy, how can I add the spark? The last time we were intimate she critiqued me multiple times, such as, why are you so awkward? It adds a ton of pressure to perform. You don't need to go for indirect action, man, just go for small things like romantic talks, small walks with holding her hand. If she is working then you can give her a massage. Maybe because of any stress she is refusing you in bed. I'd never just go balls to the wall with it, at least make out first. She says her job is easy but not stimulating, 8 to 4 desk job. She'll accept a massage but then after just go back to scrolling TikTok without any more interest. Any advice to pique her interest in me again? Go for a vacation. No mobile phones because mobile will distract her from you. Spend time with her or just ask her what you can do to ignite the spark again in bed. She recently told me that she misses the excitement that comes with a new relationship and that she's only ever been with me intimately. So there are two parts to this. If she says she misses the excitement, that could mean she misses going on dates and you actively paying attention to her, as opposed to settling into a routine. But the part about only having had sex with you, what is she trying to say here? That she's dissatisfied with the sex and wants you to step up, or that she'd be interested in sleeping with other people? Is she feeling the fear of missing out? When I try to initiate she often pulls away. She builds a wall of pillows between us when we sleep, saying I'm a hot sleeper. Everything I say or do seems to be wrong, down to the way I chew, and makes her mad. She doesn't find me physically attractive or attractive personality-wise. Consciously or not, your wife has been pulling away from you. I'm not trying to imply that she's cheating, but people who do cheat often try to punish and demean their partners in their own mind to assuage their own guilt. I'm not saying she is planning to cheat, but she's developing a state of mind where that won't seem so abhorrent to her. You need to build some discomfort by focusing on your own life. Spend time on hobbies and activities for you that add enjoyment to your life. She's being open and honest about her feelings, which is a good sign. Some would hide how they feel and fix it in other ways. This is your chance to pull back, which I know is confusing and upsetting. Why should you have to create space between you and your wife? I would think. But you are two separate people, and despite your union of marriage are still on two separate paths. The spark does go, but admiration is timeless as long as both people in a relationship are building themselves. Almost act as if you are single in terms of self-focus and improvement. This advice was given under the assumption she isn't vacuous and or sociopathic and nothing but tumultuous new relationships will ruse her empty soul. If she is, then divorce and live your life. My wealthy BF is unbelievably stingy. I often end up spending more money than him. And now I'm getting resentful. This topic is embarrassing for me, so I think this is the best place. I'd like advice, especially from those who are married or were married before. My BF is extremely wealthy but doesn't even spend money like a middle-class person. So despite him being significantly wealthier than me due to inherited wealth, I often end up spending more money. My BF's parents have set him up for a lifetime of financial comfort, and currently pay for all of his living expenses. He has never held a full-time job and does not have a college degree, because he chose to pursue arts instead. I'm definitely a born and raised middle-classer in America. I'm by no means struggling for money, but it could easily go that way if I don't do things right. Well, the stinginess is getting less and less cute. My BF can be so stingy sometimes that I feel it makes me resentful. We have been long distance since the pandemic, so for his birthday I drove 6 hours to him with gifts. Well, my birthday was first week of December, and he drove 6 hours to me. Except he gave me a damaged notebook, a bunch of bags of Christmas decorations. I went to CVS later and saw those same decorations on sale there. To be fair, I really like Christmas. Then he suggested we get a hotel for my birthday for some alone time. Then he said since he was paying for the car and gas to get to my house, I should pay for the hotel, $140. Then I also paid for our dinner on my birthday, which was another $40. He didn't even offer to pay for it. I had gotten him a $150 gift well beforehand, anticipating he'd at least be splitting the cost of the hotel with me or getting me dinner. I wanted to rebalance the scales somehow, so now I'm just extremely upset at how much money I spent. For example, he told me we could move to NYC together because that's where my upcoming job is. Now, we all know NYC rent prices are higher than most other places. Personally, I can afford it because I chose to work a full-time job. But my BF's budget is $700 to $800 a month, because he has no job, he just has wealth spread out everywhere. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but for NYC plus living in a decent area close to work, it's very low. What makes me mad about this is, he still has an apartment in a different city that he's keeping just for fun. No one lives there. It's just sitting there and they're paying $950 a month for it. The AC is on 24/7 in the unit even though no one is there. So they're paying for all that. He never ever pays for dinners, and when we go on long drives he always wants to split the gas. And it annoys me because, it's not even like he's working to earn any of this money, whereas I am. The money is like a waterfall for him. Not to mention there have been several times we go out and he realizes he has forgotten his debit card. He's just grown up so rich that he's literally never had to care about money, and it shows. What's really going on here? How do I even talk to him about this? Are these signs of a huge financial incompatibility? Then he suggested we get a hotel for my birthday for some alone time. Then he said since he was paying for the car and gas to get to my house, I should pay for the hotel, $140. Then I also paid for our dinner on my birthday, which was another $40. He didn't even offer to pay for it. This is the part of him being crappy. It's your birthday, he should pay for dinner, and at the least split the hotel. He's allowed to spend his money however he wants no matter how much he has. Now there are other factors like the dinner for your birthday that make him just not considerate. I don't think you should focus on how much money he has, but more on if your relationship is balanced and if he puts in effort. Okay, this is a very helpful way of framing it. Thank you so much for this. I guess having financial wealth doesn't mean he has common sense. Either he's completely ignorant of your experience, and if he is of yours, he is to everyone's, or he's financially manipulating you. What good is his wealth to you if it's not shared one bit? Ask him to marry you if you'd like to stay with this man or move on swiftly. I tend to agree with what you've said here. It's to the point where I'm actually afraid of marrying him, not without a proper prenup anyway. That's because my wealth is all earned by myself, and his wealth is completely untouchable by me unless he allows it. Edit, it's untouchable because it is inherited wealth. It's a weird part of US marital law. This issue obviously has me extremely messed up. This is really, really bad. I have dated 2 men like this and also had a roommate like this. All 3 of them made me pay for everything constantly even though I was barely scraping by with 2 jobs and financially supporting my disabled mother. The 3 of them had never really had to work for anything, so they couldn't understand the value of money or how many hours I had to work to pay for the things they made me pay for, which we should have either been splitting equally, or were fully their responsibility to pay for, but I let them manipulate me into paying, just like your BF did to you with the hotel and birthday dinner. 2 of them, when I finally tried to speak to them about it, literally stating to them I am broke and I cannot afford the things you're making me pay for, I need to live within my means, attempted to frame it as a character issue, saying I was a bad person for not wanting to pay more than my fair share / more than I could afford. The roommate told me I had no empathy for her, while she was living off a massive trust fund and getting checks sent regularly to her by her family, and I was $300 in overdraft as we spoke because I was paying her half of the bills. The argument was because she wanted me to give her cash in addition to paying her half of our bills, which she knew I could not afford, and she didn't even need the cash. BC her family gave her so much, but she spent recklessly and wanted a bigger cushion, so she decided it had to come from me. I'm telling you all this so you'll understand that this is a mentality for some people that simply cannot be overcome. They don't see what they're doing, so they have no reason to stop until you walk away. That is what I wound up having to do with all 3 of them to get the financial mistreatment to stop, and make no mistake, that is exactly what this is. I think you are right when you say that these types of people don't really understand the value of money, or how work, money, being able to live properly. I think they see money as a non-issue. But it's also hypocritical to me, because if it were such a non-issue, then why can't they just pay for things without such a struggle? Thank you for your advice, I won't forget it. Worldwide comments of the day. Dude in the first story is a beast. His cheating ex was having an emotional breakdown on his couch and he just kept working out. I got into the best shape of my life the year before and the year after my divorce. Doing the same thing. The place I worked out at, which sadly is now closed, those for the main workout. Not sure if OP is going to see this, but also look up Push-Up Sally and Plank Sally on YouTube. Way to go OP, damn proud of you bud. Tabata is a great exercise routine. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and relatable Reddit videos.